Good morning, friends. It's Friday Eve, one step closer to the weekend. Very excited about that because I'll tell you what, it has been a long week. I feel like I have done Monday like 3 times already this week. You know what I mean? You ever have those weeks like that where they're just like one Monday after another? Hey, little wise owl, good morning. Caroline is here. So, you guys, I decided yesterday I need to be doing some scrap busting. And that means I need to be using up some yarn that I don't really have enough of to like make baby blankets. I don't really have enough for like a wheelchair size blanket. And unless I want to make a bunch of squares, which I really don't, I thought maybe what I'll do is make some hats for donation. So that's what's been rolling around in my brain. Kimberly, good morning. Angela, good morning. Karen is here. Julie, good morning. Karina, Karen, Jennifer, good morning. Jennifer said, good good morning. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. My power went out Tuesday night. Oh no. Paloma, buenos dias. So I have to profess, guys, I am far from an expert on making hats. I struggle with them. It has been something that I have really been challenged to master. So, one of the things I have here in my lap, which is off camera right now, I have all my epic hat fails, and I drug them all out this morning so you guys could see how terrible they are. Don't you want to see that? Don't you want to see the really bad stuff? Debbie, good morning. Karina said, I loved how this turned out. So, Karina, I feel like I have finally, possibly, turned a corner here. Possibly. Let me see if I can move this up just a smidge without interfering with YouTube. Thank you so much. Lori, good morning. Do y'all want to see my epic hat fails first? I know I want to show them. Jody, good morning. Debbie, how are you? Both Debbies in the house. We have lots of Debbies. I bet they aren't that bad. Oh, Karina, sweetie, just you wait. Just you wait. You all think that April's this perfect crocheter. I got news for y'all. There is always learning for all of us. Angie, good morning. There are some hat patterns that are really difficult to make. Debbie, I have found that all hat patterns are difficult to make. Okay, so this is the one I made yesterday. I went to my scraps and I had 4 skeins. I had 2 of this Yarn Bee Marblesque Mint. I don't know even know what it is, but it's fuzzy yarn. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear yarn. Um, Here we go. 94% acrylic, 3% wool, 3% alpaca. So again, I had 2 of these. It's not really enough to do anything with, it's not like enough to do like a baby blanket or anything. And it's fuzzy and it has wool. So unless I'm going to make like a scarf or something, I thought, oh, I'll make this into a hat. I'm going to try. Then I had 2 of these Serdar Snugglies. 55 nylon, 45% acrylic, 55 polyamide. I'll tell you what, friends, I can't do a lot of math this early in the morning, but that doesn't add up to 100%. I don't know. Maybe that's different languages. Who knows? Again, random yarn. I had 2 of them. So what I did is I put these 2 together to come up with my own bulky weight. So this is how the hat turned out. Now, I do have some of those little fluff ball things to go on the top right here. So I figured I'll do some with the fluff balls and some without. So I have enough of this to make another hat, okay? The other yarn that I had, which I'm going to use this morning, again, these are random skeins that I'm just trying to use up. Here is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber. This is probably acrylic. 100% low pill acrylic. It's like a light blue. Again, one skein, you can see it's like having the come aparts. I don't know what else to do with this, but I had this one. No label, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear yarn, lots of fibers and stuff. And I thought, well, what if I put these two together and make a hat? So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another one of these chunkies because I think I'm finally somewhat decent at making a hat. Okay, so let's show you the very first hat I ever made. That was this one right here. I made this on the knitting loom. It took me forever, forever. And I mean, it's not like horrible, but friends, it's not great. I don't like how the cables look on it. I like them more when they go up and down like this. I really, so anyhow, this was the very first hat I ever attempted. So then I thought, well, let's try it again. And I did like kind of a different stitch on the knitting loom. This is the hand knitting loom, all right? So tedious, Caroline. It took me forever sitting there doing the little hook thing. I was ready to lose my mind. I'm used to being fast and efficient, friends. This for me was not fast and efficient. So here's what the inside looks. I put the in anyhow. To me, the color of the yarn is pretty, right? But is this the best hat? No. So after two of those, I said, okay, I'm done with the knitting loom. The knitting loom is not for me. Okay. So then I said, I'm going to try to crochet a hat. Okay. So then I went to this one and I put two strands together. This was Red Heart. So I think the problem with this, the structure is there. It's hard to see on screen, guys. Let me see if I can raise you up all a little bit. Let me see if this is better. YouTube, that might mess things up for you. I'm trying to get it on screen. Uh, this hat, let me tell you, holy stiffness. I would not wear this thing. If you paid me $1,000,000, I wouldn't wear this thing. It is horrible. It is so stiff. So I think what I took away from this particular hat, I feel like I did the cables pretty good. I feel like I used too small of a hook and it made my stitches like too tight so that I couldn't, like, it doesn't have any stretch to it, doesn't have any give, and it's just so tough. Now this one I made last night, it has give to it. It's soft. It's nice. So, anyhow, make sure you're using a bigger hook because I feel like that is what went wrong with this hat. Okay. So then I said, well, I'm going to try another one. This is a softer yarn. I used a bigger hook. And this one is pretty good. But here's the thing I did with this one, guys. I didn't use my stitch markers because I was being super lazy. And what happened is, can you see how one side is longer than the other? Oh, yeah, friends. That's what happens when you don't count and you don't use stitch markers and you're being lazy. You mess up your hat. So the thing I took away from this, my stitches are better, right? It's squishy. It can expand. So then I tried to sew the brim. So I tacked on the brim to try to give it an equal amount. Fail, total fail, total fail. Use your stitch markers and make sure you're doing your counts. So again, for the April perfectionist in me, this hat is a no-go. But I do love the palm. It's nice and soft. Okay, so that was another test for me. Then I went to another yarn. So Mama Wheeler had given me this fuzzy wuzzy yarn. And I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll put the fuzzy yarn with some black acrylic. Um, Again, I think I used too small of a hook. It doesn't have a lot of give. And I'll tell you what, putting this fuzzy wuzzy yarn with the black acrylic, when you're first learning, friends, I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't put the fuzzy wuzzy yarn with the acrylic when you're first learning. It was so hard, so incredibly hard. I can't even tell you how hard this was. And then the hat's like, mediocre, right? Mediocre. Not the best. Now, I have better luck with baby hats. This one, though, what was I thinking on this one? Y'all, look how long this is. Long and narrow. I don't know if I ran out of yarn. Y'all, if you're just joining, I'm showing you my epic hat fails before I try to make another one. All right. This is this morning. Y'all think that I come on here and April does everything just to perfection. Oh no. No, 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 no. Anyhow, this long hat, I don't know what I was thinking. Again, counts, guys, you gotta count on this stuff. Because if you don't, you could fold it over a couple times, but goodness gracious. I mean, maybe a teddy bear could wear this. Yes, Karina, the yarn is really pretty. Too bad I wasted it. And it has a nice palm on it, though, right? So there are some pluses. Again, too tight of a hook. You can't even stretch this. Oh, can't even stretch it. It's so tight. Okay, here's another one. Here's one of the little kid hats I made. I think the kid hats are pretty good. This one I made with, I believe, single crochets. These ones aren't too bad. I've gotten better about the kid hats. Okay, so you can see I'm progress, making progress on the beanies. And then I think one of the last ones I made again, fuzzy wuzzy yarn. Boy, this stuff is hard to work with. It looks pretty. It looks real pretty, the fuzzy wuzzy yarn. And I think, oh, that'll make a great hat. That'll be so nice. Oh man, I struggle with this. I struggle with this yarn, the fuzzy wuzzy. But again, I've learned use a bigger hook. See how this one has more like play in it? But what I'll tell you, the fuzzy yarn, it made it really hard to do my counts. Okay, so these are all of the hats that I have made in my life. You can see they're not great. You can see why Wheeler is struggling with the hats. It's been a real challenge. So I need more practice with hats. That's the bottom line. This is the one I made last night. I'm pretty happy with this hat, guys. I feel like I've gone through all of I didn't use a big enough hook. I used the wrong kind of yarn. I made it too long. I didn't use my stitch markers. My counts all got off. All the things, all the things I have then taken and put them into play. And now last night, I've got quite a bit of stretch on my hat, right? It's really nice and soft. It's cozy. I have my little hole here. I could put my little marker in there. So this is where I'm at today after my struggles with hats. So with that being said, do you want to help me make another one? Again, I'm not perfect on this, right? I'm still learning. These are the yarns I picked out today. Don't ask me what this one is. It's from the stash. Hopefully there's enough. I have no clue what it is. Again, it's fuzzy wuzzy yarn. I'm sure it has some wool in there. I'm going to partner it with this soft and sleek. Look at that. 99 center. Who doesn't love the 99 center? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the two strands together. One of the things that I did yesterday, I went on the Discord and I asked folks, what is your favorite, uh, place to do a hat from? One of them that came up was the Turtle Trunk. And Turtle Trunk on her YouTube had this handy dandy chart. Look at that. I did a little screenshot and I printed this out. Turtle trunk. Thank you. I don't know if I am following Turtle Trunk's pattern. I kind of meshed a bunch of them together kind of thing. But I am going to use it for the size. So this green one that I made last night, I did an adult medium. My thought was I'm going to send these to, um, not these messed up ones. Okay. I could never send those. But I'm going to send them up to Nashville to Launchpad for this winter. So it'll bust up my scraps and I'll have some hats that I can donate. So I did adult medium. Launchpad has 18 to 26-year-olds, maybe 28. I can't remember. They're young adults. Okay. So adult medium, 39 chains, and then 38 stitches after we turn, a total of 36 rows. Okay. And I worked in the back loop. Okay. So when you work in the back loop, that's how you get this little line of texture. Um, let's see. You friends, I probably missed some comments. Let me try to catch up here real quick. Brooklyn said, I'm making hat crochet and knit. So I am trying to knit. I don't have my knitted hat here next to me. Knitting is brand new for me. I wanted to knit. I followed Passionate Kelsey's video on how to knit those, and it's actually turning out pretty good. Here's the thing, when I knit, because I really don't know how to do it very well, um, it takes me forever and a day. Like literally, it is taking me so long to knit. I can't even like pretend to want to do that. Hang on, I can't see my comments here. Okay, I'm back. Let's see here. Why is this not working? Yes, Kristen says, I knit my beanies. It's all I know how to knit. That was my real plan, Kristen. I thought if I can learn to knit a beanie, that is all I want to learn. I don't want to learn to knit anything else. But if I could knit a beanie, it would accomplish this issue that I'm having with making hats. In the meantime, until I get better about my knitting, we're going to try to do some crocheting of these hats and use up some of these yarns. Okay. So I put two strands together. Okay. Again, this darker color, I have no clue what this yarn is. It kind of feels like between a 4 and a 3 weight. It's probably got some wool in there. It's a fuzzy yarn. I'm partnering it with this acrylic anti-pill just to make it so that it's a bulky. I'm going to crochet both of these strands together. I'm using a 10.5 K hook. Friends, I don't know what size millimeter that is. It's a jumbo. Okay. So that is my plan. And y'all bear with me because, as I mentioned and showed, I'm hat challenged. I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to chain for the adult medium 39 chains. Okay. 8 millimeter. That could be Sparky. I don't really know. You guys will have to Google it, but I'm using a K. Okay. So here we go. I got to count. What did I say? 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Okay, 39 chains. Now, here for all you expert hat makers out there, help a sister out. What length are we looking for here on this chain? Because that's the part that I kind of have spaced out on. In my mind, I'm thinking it's like 12 to 13 inches if I want a brim. Does that sound right? So right now I'm at 12 and a half inches. This one right here that I did, I think this one was like 12 inches. Hey, good morning, Summer Storm. So after I cinched it up on the top, it ended up being like 11 inches, 11 and a half if I really kind of stretch. I guess it's 12, but roughly there. Passionate Kelsey makes hers 11 to 12 inches for a brim. Okay, cool. So I think I'm on the right track here. Joni, good morning. How are you, friend? Do you guys like all the epic fail hats that I showed? I like to show that just to kind of, prove that number one, I'm human and I learn just like you guys do. I'm going to make a hat, SB. I'm going to try to make a hat. Okay. So I'm going to skip the first stitch. This stitch on my loop on my hook does not count. Into the second loop right here, I'm going to do a half double. Again, I'm working both yarns and I'm going to do a half double crochet. I'm going to work that all the way down. I am using a size K 10 and a half inch hook or 10 and a half. I don't know what the millimeters is. Some people said it's like a 7. Joni said, I wish I didn't have to go to work. Girl, you and me both. You and me both. It's Friday Eve, though. Okay, so for all the subscribers, did you see the new sticker I made? Did you see the new sticker I made? It's a Friday Eve sticker. Oh my gosh. I have a story to tell about the sticker. Too funny. Too funny. I'm waiting for that sticker to pop up. I'm waiting for the Friday Eve sticker to pop up. Friday Eve, there it is. So, y'all, Kay just shared the sticker. That is me on a cruise. When I went on the cruise with my sister and mom a year ago December. I think we were in Roatan, maybe? I don't know. We were down somewhere. We're down there somewhere. And we got stormed out. Okay. So the ship got to port and my our little excursion got canceled. We were supposed to do like a tour through the jungle in a jeep and all this like cool stuff and then take a boat ride. It was called the trifecta. It was supposed to be this fabulous day. Well, it still was a fabulous day. Look what I did here. Hang on. I got to rewind. But basically it was stormed out. We couldn't go on the boat. They didn't do anything. They refunded us our money. So uh my sister-in-law and I, whenever you get to port at these places, they have like all the tourist gift shops and everything. And let's just say Wheeler made a day out of hanging out at the, well, I shouldn't say the day. It was like mid-morning. It was like, I don't know, 10 o'clock. But that is me with I think it was a pina colada in the pineapple. My sister-in-law, we just hung out at the bar. So she took that picture of me. I think that was my second one. And uh, you know how your phone will give you reminders and stuff of your pictures or what you've been on, or Facebook does or whatever. So when Mama and Papa Wheeler were here, it had popped up on Papa Wheeler's phone, or maybe it was Mom's phone. I don't know. It was one of their phones, and they showed me that picture, and I said, "Oh, that was a fun day. I should make a Friday Eve sticker with that." April with her pina colada. So, um, yeah, that's me on the cruise, having a blast with my sister-in-law, drinking pina coladas because what else are you going to do when everything gets canceled? I'll tell you that cruise was rough, 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 roughest cruise. I don't know if I'll ever go back on a cruise, friends. We tried to make the best of it, but anyhow, as they say, now you know the rest of the story. So, yes, new Friday Eve sticker. Okay, so as I'm working this, okay, make sure you have a big enough hook. Okay, I'm using a K hook and I'm double stranding it. And this makes it a kind of more of a chunky kind of beanie, which I like how that looks. I am doing half doubles all the way down, except for when I get to the very end. Okay. The other thing I have figured out with making these beanies is if you, some of the patterns have you do half doubles all the way down. And then what happens when you get to the very top of your beanie here? This ends up being super bulky right in here. Okay, this was super bulky. So instead of doing half doubles, what I did is I switched, and the last 5 stitches right here, I did single crochets. Now I have done another pattern where they switched and they said, do single crochet, then do a slip stitch. Dude, that was too much for me to keep track of. Okay, I think that was this hat. Which, yes, it looks great up here at the top. But for me to keep track of 3 singles, then 3 slip stitches or some nonsense like that, uh, like, too much. My brain can't handle all that. So, yeah, it looked good, but I need it simpler. I need it simpler, especially if I'm on the live telling stories and whatnot. Okay, so when we get down here to the very end, the last 5, I'm switched from doing half doubles to singles. And I'll point that out as we get a little closer. Now, the other thing, when I was making this beanie last night, let me I'm using up scraps of yarn. So these skeins are a little sketchy to say the least. I don't know what's going on with this here. We're going to try to get some yarn out of this. This I pulled the center and I got all this yarn barf. I should have wound it this morning, but I was feeling lazy. I didn't feel like it. Valdoc said I do crochets in the last 5 to 8 stitches. Okay, that's a good recommendation. So I'm doing it in 5 just because I did it that way last night and I don't want to change it up. I'm on a roll here. Yeah, not so bulky. Okay, so you don't want it so bulky when you get to the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 2 more half doubles. I'm working in the back bump of the chain. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm working in the back bump. That's leaving this part when I go back and sew it together or crochet it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these last 5 now, I'm going to do single crochets in these last 5. What that does is it trims down around the top of your hat. So it makes it not so bulky up there and it lays a little flatter. Anyone's else video out of focus? Uh, let me see. Is this any better? Let's try this. Is that any better, Anvil? Okay, here we go. This is number 5. So single crochet right here. Okay. So that is the end of our little row here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. Okay, now I'm going to work in the back loop only. Okay, so right here, this is the chain I just made. Ignore that guy. We're going to go in this one. Ignore the front loop. The front loop is the loop that is facing me. Now remember, I've got 2 strands here. Okay, so this is the front loop. Skip that. I'm going to go into just the back loop here. And again, I'm going to do a single crochet. Now, here's very important. All right. Maybe some of y'all are experts at this. You don't need to do this. It is critical, absolutely critical for me. I have to put a stitch marker in that first stitch. Otherwise, I get all messed up. Okay, so that's number one single crochet. Now I need 2, 3, 4, and 5 single crochets. Okay, believe it or not, I'm going to put another stitch marker in here because inevitably I get to crocheting along and I space out that these right here are my single crochets. Okay, so this is going to alert me. Hey, pay attention to me. And now I'm going to work half doubles. Okay, so again, into the back loop, half doubles the whole way down. When you do these stitches in the back loops, it is what is giving it this little line of texture, the cabling effect. Okay. My knitted beanie, by the way, friends. I know, JT, I'm double stranding it. How about that? This is a chunky monkey, I'll tell you, chunky monkey beanie. But look at our little line of texture. So see how this is more narrow up here? So this is going to be the very top of our hat. So here's the bottom. Up here is where I did the single crochets. Now, one of these I messed up on. I think is this it right here? No, I'm going to show y'all. This is why I have to do a stitch marker. It might have been this one right here. I got to crocheting last night. I wasn't paying attention and I didn't do single crochets. I did half doubles on one of these. Now it got all squished up. I didn't fix it. I was just like, I'm going to roll with it. But that is why I need that extra stitch marker right here, is because I don't do a good job of paying attention. Okay. So again, use it, don't use it. It's entirely up to you. But for me, I have learned the hard way. Put in that extra stitch marker. How is everybody's week this week? I'll tell you, I sure hope today doesn't feel like Monday at work. I've already had 3 Mondays over again. 3 Mondays. Every day this week has felt like a Monday. So I'm really glad it's Friday Eve. I'm certainly hoping, fingers crossed. I hope I have a better day today. It has been one, I'll tell you. Full moon today. Hide your kids, hide your wife. I think it is. I don't know if it's the weather or what it is. My customers have been squirrely kids. It probably is the weather or the moon or something. Oh, Lordy. Hang on. I got to get some more yarn out of this barf pile. Let's see. It was good until I had a procedure at the ENT. Now I have a sore throat from it. Oh, no, summer storm. That is not good. We got rain again yesterday, so it's been kind of humid here too. And that doesn't help with my mood. It kind of makes me a little grouchy. And I've been tired. But I am feeling a lot better than I did on Tuesday. You guys know I was absolutely exhausted from having guests and all the things, all the vacation things. Yeah, that's why it's a full moon. I think that's why my customers were squirrely. It was like, "Here, print this." "Oh, just kidding. Here's a different file." "Oh, just kidding. Here's a different file." I swear every order I placed, they wanted to like change the artwork. Finally, I just let them sit there in my inbox for a little bit because I thought, oh, they're just going to change it anyhow. Crazy kids. Crazy kids. Todd said the work week after a holiday is the worst, right? And leading up to it too. Luna Blue, good morning. Gen X is just waiting for the weekend. My boss said it was 115 in Arizona yesterday. It's hot out there. Vicky, good morning. Pretty colors. Thank you, sweet kitten. I wish I could tell you what they are, but we're stash busting today. I know it sounds crazy. Here in Arizona, we're talking about 115 degrees. Alabama, I don't know what it is. It says it's 80 out there. It was a little nicer yesterday afternoon. It seems a little odd to be making a beanie in the middle of July. But, if you're going to have these things ready for fall to hand out, there's no better time. And they're small in my lap. I'll tell you, I have made 24 wheelchair blankets this year since January. And friends, I need a little break from my blankets. So that's what we're doing. We're going to make some baby blankets. I'm going to make some beanies. Y'all are probably going to get sick of me making beanies on the live. We'll see. I might get bored with this too. I'll still do some other stuff as well. But for now, I'm really trying to stash bust. I think this is my last stitch right here. I should have put in a stitch marker right there, but I'm going to do it now. Friends, let me back up here. I'm working in the back loop only when I do these half double crochets, okay? This is the last stitch right here. And I have done it where I work only in the back loop, but what I prefer to do is I actually, on the very last row where the brim is, I actually work under both. What do you guys do? I'm curious. What do you all do for your last stitch? Do you go under both the loops? Tell me, what do you do? Today is the full moon, Shan. Yeah, there's something. There's something about the. Amy said, thought about you yesterday. Had blood work and they used neon green Coban. All right. There you go. Veronica, good morning. Lee Animal is here. Headed to Branson today for a baseball tournament this weekend. Nice. That's awesome, Tanya. Hopefully the weather cooperates with you. Okay, chain one. Let me catch up on the comments here before we carry on. Oh, Rachel is here this morning. Friends, if you are not following Miss Rachel here, hang on. I'm going to try to pin her. I'm not that talented. Pin. Here we go. Follow this gal right here. She's amazing. How is your pickle stuff coming along, Rachel? I'm dying to know. I've been meaning to ask. Let's see. Jody Lynn said 3 days weekends always make for a week of Mondays, right? Let's see. Sparky said, I just finished my fifth square from yesterday's live. That is awesome. What have you done to me, April? I don't know, Sparky. I inspired you, I guess. Full moon is the busiest time of year where I work. Oh, nice. Okay, let's see. Summer Sunday is here. Good morning. Oh my God, be still my heart. Is that Lori? My girl Lori? Y'all, Lori from the Knitting Sisters is here. Wow. I love this gal. We got to pin Lori next, friends. Lori, I should be doing these on my knitting machine, but I'm not that good at it. I keep watching you. I keep getting inspired by you, and I need to do these beanies on my knitting machine, and I just don't have it mastered yet. But friends, right here, Miss Lori is pinned. She is an amazing creator on TikTok. I feel honored that you are here, girl. Seriously, that is amazing. Wow. You guys know she sent me a hat. I won it on her live. And I remember when I was fangirling on her. I'm making a beanie. I'm trying to make a beanie. So anyhow, I chain one and turn my work. Okay. So now, again, this chain I'm not counting as anything. That is just going to chill there. Now I'm going to work the half double. Again, we're going to work into the back loop, not the front loop. So when you look at your stitches, you can see there's two loops here. Now, mind you, I'm using two colors. We're double stranding it. These two right here, this is called the front loop, the one that is facing you. And the one away from you right here is the back loop. So we're going to do a half double into that back loop stitch. Okay. Now, again, very important because I am notorious. I can't count and pay attention. Uh, Pop in a stitch marker right here on your very first stitch. This will definitely help you keep organized. Now, once again, I'm going to work half doubles all the way up until we get to the very top, the very last 5 stitches. We're going to go a little smaller with single crochets. Lori is in Alabama too. She's further south than I am. I'm up in Northeast Alabama. Anyhow, yes, I'm fangirling because I love Lori at the Knitting Sisters. And I'm not alone on this. A lot of y'all watch her. Um, so, anyhow, she is fabulous. And I feel like so honored that you're here. Too silly. Too silly. Um, But anyhow, she's pinned right there. If you wanna do knitting machine, she makes, amigurumi animals with her knitting machine. She does, like, scarves that have, team names in them, or, big blankets she makes on her knitting machine. She, like, puts the panels together. Incredible. She is so talented, and her yarn wall is fabulous. Most incredible yarn wall, I'll tell you. So anyhow, yes, sorry y'all for fangirling. I get a little geeked out on these things, but I just can't help myself. I love to support other creators. You guys know you'll see me popping into these lives and saying hi because I get inspired too this way. But today we're making a beanie. I'm trying my very best. Beanies have been a challenge for me from the jump. Guys know I like make a lot of blankets, a lot of other type of stuff. But these beanies have been a real challenge. And I feel like I finally have like my feet on the ground with them, that they don't turn out horrible. And so what I'm trying to do, when Mama Wheeler was here, you guys know I went and I organized my yarn room. Okay. And when I did that, there was a lot of leftover random yarns that there's not enough to like make a baby blanket. There's not enough to really make a whole heck of a lot of anything. And so I had put those into bags and kind of sorted them out. If you're a subscriber, you can see the video that I did yesterday um, of one of the bags. But you can see here it had a yarn bee. Look at that, 99 cents, soft and sleek. That's what I'm using today. Then it had this who knows what without a label, fuzzy wuzzy yarn. Definitely has some wool in there, or maybe some alpaca. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. There's one skein of each. Like, what am I going to do with this stuff? You know, maybe make some granny squares, but I don't want to weave in all the ends. Like I'm kind of burnt out on doing that. So what I thought is, well, I'll whip up some beanies and then I can donate them up to Nashville to Launchpad to the kids up there in the shelter and do it that way. Okay, so here we are again at our stitch markers. Okay, when I get to the green stitch marker, I strategically place that at the 5th stitch. So if you count backwards here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 are single crochets. So I put this in here to alert me to pay attention. Right here, you need to change to a single crochet. This is going to be the top of the beanie, okay? And we're going to work single crochets all the way back to the end here. Again, still working those in the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the stitch. Again, I'm going to put that in there just to remind myself, okay? And then I'm going to chain 1. Okay, so here are where the single crochets are right here. Can you see how this is a little more narrow through here? So as we do our beanie, this is the one I made last night. This smaller part ends up being up here. I have a palm to put on this. I got to dig them out. They're in the room somewhere. Okay. But that you keep that so that way it's a little more narrow. Okay. So chain 1, then I'm going to turn my work. You don't count this loop that's here on your hook. And you don't count this single crochet. This is the single crochet I just made. What we're going to do is we're going to work single crochets into these 5 stitches. Again, we're working into the back loop only. So when you look at your crochet stitches, there is 2 loops and it kind of looks like a sideways V. The 2 loops in this case, because I'm using 2 strands, we're double stranding it. This right here is considered the back loop. It's away from me. This right here is the front loop. So we're ignoring the front loop and we're going to work a single crochet into the back loop only. And we're going to work that for the next 5 stitches. Again, these single crochets will help the top of your beanie be very narrow and not super bulky at the top. You don't want that. I mean, you can. Some people do. Okay, so here's the 5th one. Let's pop out my stitch marker again, move it to my next row. Again, you don't have to do the stitch markers if you feel comfortable with what you're doing. Now, the other thing is I need to move my orange stitch marker up so that when I'm coming back around, I know when the last stitch is right here. So this right here, this was the chain. This was my first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get bigger as we go down. Okay. And we're going to do half doubles the entire way down. Again, we're going to work just in the back loop. When you look at half double crochets, make sure you don't get confused by this side loop that's here. Okay. You have to kind of turn your work and make sure you're looking at the top of the stitches. So again, this is the front loop. This is the back loop. We're going to work this half double under this back loop. And we're going to work that the entire way down. Elfin, thank you so much. Friends, I am a hobby crocheter. And if you are new to my channel, my name is April. I do live in Northeast Alabama. I work remote and I actually work in Arizona. So that gives me time in the mornings to come on and crochet with friends. I typically come on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. I stay on until 9:30, and then I hop off and go into my office there and do my 9 to 5 job. I'm actually in the printing business. We do wholesale graphics, so point of purchase displays, menus, things like that is what my real job is for crocheting. It would be nice if crochet was my real job, but I have this horrible yarn addiction, friends, and I spend way too much money on yarn. Yes, the clicky click. Thank you, Rachel. So a lot of us do work full time in addition to our crocheting. So anyhow, I don't profess to be an expert crocheter at all. Um, I just come on here and chat with friends and kind of share the things that I have learned over the years. I have been crocheting for uh, 41 years now. I learned when I was 9. I learned from my mom and my grandma. And over the years, I've just kind of branched out and learned more things. I have learned so much from other creators like Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. There are so many, it is hard to list them all. But when I first started learning to crochet, there was no internet, no YouTube, definitely no social media or anything like that. So, anyhow, it's been a kind of a lifelong love and journey. And I just come on here, friends, to maybe inspire each of you. Maybe if you haven't picked up your hook in a while, maybe you see me crocheting today or one of our friends here chatting, and you think, I need to get back into crocheting. I should do that. Or maybe you see some yarn that inspires you, or a pattern. So, or maybe you get inspired to maybe help others. These hats I'm making are going to be for donation. So, anyhow, all the things, right? All the things, the relaxation of crocheting, all that good stuff. So, anyhow, thanks to each and every one of you for hanging out with me this week. It's been a fun week. We worked on a baby blanket. I made it a little farther on the baby blanket. Y'all want to see where I'm at? We'll have a pause. Sorry, squirrel. Squirrel. Here's where I'm at on the baby blanket. So I'm getting ready now to change back to the colored yarn right here. But doesn't it look nice with the white? Y'all, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This baby blanket is going to oh gosh, help me. What is it called down there in Georgia? Um, why I want to call it Debbie and it's not Debbie. Why Rachel's gift. Rachel's gift. It's going to Rachel's gift. Here's the other one that I made. I've made 3 of these. Well, I'm on the 4th one. Rachel's gift. So here's this one you can see how it's different now. So I did the colored right here. And then on the new one, I switched to the white because I was low on yarn. I'll have to tell you all where I first learned about this yarn. You know who I learned about this yarn from? Lori. Right there, Lori at the Knitting Sisters. I watched her make something with this beautiful yarn. I think it was a hat that she was making. And I was like, I need that yarn in my life. Such a pretty, pretty yarn. So anyhow, that's where I'm at on the baby blanket. Sorry, total squirrel, y'all. The pattern is Luna Blue is the study of snow. It's a free pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. For the beanie, I don't really have a pattern for this. I just have watched a number of videos and kind of doing my thing. So, but if you want the baby blanket, that is called the study of snow. It's a free yarn inspirations pattern. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to bump y'all. This is what I use for the baby blanket. We'll work on the baby blanket probably some more next week. But Study of Snow, Mikey at the Crochet Crowd, he has been a huge inspiration in my crochet life. I can't say enough good things about Mikey. I have learned new stitches. The thing I learned from Mikey, um, let me put this pattern away. Um, it's kind of what I try to do here. Let me turn the corner here and we'll talk about this a little bit. Okay, so here's my last stitch. Here's my stitch marker. I'm going to pop this guy out and now we're going to do a half double. When I do the very last stitch here for my brim, I go under both loops, the front and back loop with my half double. I just feel like that gives it a little more stability here along the edge. You don't have to do that, but that is what I like to do. Chain 1, okay, now we're going to turn our work. Once again, you're not counting this here. You're not counting this chain that we just made. This is the chain. The first stitch is right here. We're going to do a half double into the back loop only. And once again, I'm going to immediately put my stitch marker right back in here. And then I'm going to carry on and we're going to resume with our half doubles. But you can see how the cabling is starting to show. Isn't that cool? So again, half doubles, and I'm working into the back loop only. Okay, so once again, when you look at your stitches, you have to make sure you turn your work. Don't get confused by this side loop here. Sometimes people will get confused. Turn this all the way over so that you're looking at the very top. This stitch that is facing me is called the front loop. We're ignoring that one. We're only going into the back loop. Now remember, I'm working a double strand. Okay, so we're doing a back loop only, half double into that back loop. So let me tell you a little about what Mikey did for me. And this is what I try to do for people here to like pay it forward. I crocheted granny squares for years and years because that is all I knew how to do. And there's nothing wrong with granny squares. I could not read a pattern, okay? To this day, I still can't read a pattern. What Mikey did that changed my life, my crochet life, is by watching his videos. I don't know that he like physically told me this, but this is what I tell others. Just because you don't read a pattern, do not limit what you can do. I was my worst critic. I would say all the reasons why I can't do something. Patterns intimidate me. Absolutely. I would come up with all of the 50 reasons why I can't make this beanie, why I can't make this scarf, why I can't do a puff stitch, why I can't read a pattern, all these things. His name is Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. He is on YouTube. He has over a million followers. He has been on YouTube for 10 years doing crochet teaching. What Mikey did for me is, in his own way, he made me break down that wall of I can't do something to, if I watch this video, I think I can do it. I can rewind it. I can watch it again. I can try it. You know, all of those things. And so, as humans, we are our worst enemy because we come up with all the reasons why we can't do things. And I'm here to tell you, you can. You can watch the videos, practice. You know, I didn't learn this all overnight. Friends, I showed you at the beginning of the live all the hats that I screwed up. We've got a lot of people watching this morning. Y'all want to see my screw ups again? Who wants to see all my screwed up hats? I will show you them, and I will explain to you all the things that I have learned over time with making these hats. I am not perfect. I learn every day, just like each of you guys. I brought out all my hats because, you know, some of y'all think I just come on here and I know everything. And I tell you all the time, I don't. I learn just like you guys do. Okay, so this is the beanie that I made last night. I finally feel like I'm at a place where my hats and everything have improved. I have lots of nice stretch. I feel like it's a great little shape. It's comfortable. I tried it on last night. It's really good. Again, is it perfect? No, I don't think it's perfect because I'm still learning. So here are all the screwed up hats because I like to see people's progress, right? So my very first hat I ever made, I did on a knitting loom, a hand knitting loom. This was the hat that I made. It's really pretty yarn. It's nice and soft. But I don't like how this hat goes like this. I like my hats to go like vertical. Here's what the inside looked like. So the thing I learned about the hand knitting loom, number one, it took me forever. And I didn't really like it. You have to use that little pick thing and pick off the stitches. I learned how to make pom-poms. So that was a plus. Okay. So it was a learning thing, right? Okay. So then I made another one. Here is my second one that I made. Again, I think I made this on the knitting loom. It was the hand loom. Okay. So you get one of those round things and it's got the pegs in it, and you have to wind the yarn around the pegs. It takes forever, friends. It takes forever. Here's what the inside looks like. Again, this one's kind of nice and soft. I like the yarn a whole lot. I sewed my brim up, or maybe I incorporated it in. Shoot, I don't know, guys. But what I learned from doing the hand knitting loom is it was not for me. It took way too much time, and I got bored with it very easily. Okay, so those for me were out. So then I said, okay, I'm going to try to create a crochet hat. We're going to try to do a crochet. So here's what this was my first crochet hat. This was Red Heart Super Saver. I did do 2 strands. It gets a little fold up brim, but it is ginormous, y'all. It is huge. And the thing is, it doesn't have any stretch at all. And what I learned from making this hat is you have to use a big hook. Make sure your stitches are not too tight. You need it to have like give to it, right? So see how this hat like stretches out? That is very important, okay? This hat, it doesn't really stretch. Like those stitches are really, really tight. And the other thing is it made it so it like bells out at the bottom, like really big. So again, this is another fail for me. This is a learning thing, right? So then I said, okay, which one did I do next? I think I did this one next. So I got a different pattern, and I used a softer yarn. I went to a bigger size hook. Okay. Um, bigger size hook. Now we're getting some stretch here, right? We're getting some stretch. It's much nicer. So that worked out pretty good. Now here's the thing. I didn't use stitch markers. So if I put this hat flat here, can you see how one side is longer than the other? What did I learn? Friends, if you can't count and you don't want to count, use your stitch markers. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lopsided beanie. Okay. So, again, more learning as I'm working along. Okay. Then I said, okay, I'm going to use the stitch markers. Mama Wheeler had given me this fuzzy wuzzy yarn. So, what I did is I thought, oh, this fuzzy yarn will look really cool as a hat. What if I put it with some black acrylic and use the fuzzy yarn? Okay, friends, the fuzzy yarn is fabulous. If you are first learning how to do a beanie, though, stay away from the fuzzy yarn. Okay? You can't see your stitches. Number two, stay away from black yarn. You can't see your stitches. When you're first learning something, don't use black, don't use fuzzy, and don't put the two of them together like a complete idiot would, aka me, you know? But again, we have some stretch on this, so it does have some stretch. Okay. And I did use my stitch marker. So it is proportionate, balanced, right? So yeah, basically I create it flat, Luna. It becomes like a big flat piece. We're going to keep piling these rows up here. So that, again, another fail. Here's another one. Again, fuzzy yarn. This fuzzy yarn was so incredibly hard to work with. Can you see how the hat kind of like does this twisting thing? Again, somewhere in here, I probably lost count of my stitches, but I have stretch. Okay. So we are learning as we go along, right? And that's part of it. So I show you these things, guys, because I don't just sit down here and crochet a hat and it comes out like groovy perfect. Here's some of my little kid hats, okay? This one's pretty good. This one was single crochets. I'm pretty good at making baby hats and hats like that now. I like to put them on teddy bears when I give them for baby blankets. Anvil, thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Hope your dad's all right. I need to catch up with you and get some deets on that. So maybe I'll message you a little later. So anyhow, it's about learning, right? Okay, now here's another like kid hat. Y'all, look at how long this one is. This is a long hat. Again, I think to myself, what was I thinking when I made this? Why is it so long and not very wide? Again, look at how tight these stitches are. Can you see how tight those are? Use a bigger hook. Use a bigger hook. So anyhow, this is fine. I keep these around. Um, I learn just like you guys learn. This is my process. So um, don't think that I'm any different than you all in how I do these things. It takes practice. I have lots of mess ups. Right now, I am using a size K 10 and a half hook, K 10 and a half, and I'm using two strands of yarn. So one of the things I have learned is I like to do it with two strands simply because for me, it works up a little faster and it's like a chunkier beanie. And so I really like it with two strands. You could obviously put two strands together. In this case, I'm using scraps. We had Yarn Bee soft and sleek low pill fiber in the stash. Look at that, reduced 99 center. Gotta love the 99 center. We also had this blue. Don't ask me what the blue is. There was no label. There's no label. I have no clue. It's fuzzy yarn. It's probably got some wool in it. You can see the little uh, fibers there. So, it's good. But again, guys, I'm not an expert on making hats. I'm really not. You can see the process here. What you see in my lap here that I just showed you, these are all the hats I've made in my lifetime. Okay, this is not something that I like excel at, but I'm here trying, and that's the whole point, right? Catherine, thank you so much for your subscription. You've automatically been entered into the subscriber giveaway for the month of July. Y'all want to know what the subscriber giveaway is for the month of July? It is 4 cinnamon swirl cakes. That's right. June was so popular, we're going to do it all again. 4 cinnamon swirl cakes to the subscribers. We're going to do this giveaway towards the end of the month, okay? So they really need a little gift that is Friday Eve TikTok. We would like a Friday Eve. Uh, I have not watched Erin's videos yet, Karina. I will, though, I promise. Yes, there's our cinnamon swirl cakes. Do 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 do. The pod giver, podiversary anniversary. The anniversary giveaway is uh tonight at midnight. It ends. I'll do it first thing in the morning when I wake up, and I'll make a video. So on my page, we just hit our 1 year anniversary for going live on TikTok. I've been at this for 1 year. When you get to your stitch marker here, friends, these 5 stitches, we're going to go down to single crochets. You make these a little smaller towards the brim of your hat. That way your hat is not so bulky at the top. Okay, so pop out your stitch marker, put it back in to designate your single crochets here, and work those 5 as single crochets. So on my page, guys, on TikTok, this is a TikTok giveaway. Sorry, YouTubers. This is my 1 year anniversary of TikTok. I am giving away a set of Clover Amore hooks. Clover Amore hooks. Joan, I chained 39. Very last stitch here. Now I'm going to chain 1, turn my work. Now, once again, ignore this loop on your hook. Ignore the chain that you just made, and you're going to work into the very first stitch here, single crochet, and we're going to do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right in there's that stitch marker. So now I'm going to relocate my stitch markers. On my TikTok, there is a video that says 1 year anniversary. We've made it. All the things. It's got a bunch of videos of the projects we've done in the last year. A lot of stuff. I didn't even include everything. Again, put in your stitch marker for your very first stitch and then the 5th stitch. That way it tells me that's my single crochets. Now, as we work along the side here, we're going to resume with our half doubles in the back loop. So if you want to be entered into that giveaway for the Clover Amore hooks, you need to go to the anniversary video. The anniversary video, like it, make a comment on the video. Say congratulations, whatever you want to say. I have been reading all the comments, friends. Some of you have written some really beautiful things on there to me, and I have seen them all. Normally, I reply to those comments. However, when we do one of these celebrations, I don't reply because that adds up to the comments. Okay. So I am seeing all the comments. They are fabulous. Thank you so much for all the love and support. We will do a comment picker, a random comment picker. I'll put in the link to the video and it'll go through all the comments and it'll randomly select someone. I will make a video and it will, I'll put it on my TikTok to announce who the winner is. But you need to like and comment, and you must be a follower. I don't care what country you're in. I'm in the United States. For this 1 year celebration, if you're in Canada, I will ship it to you in Canada. If you're in Africa, I will ship it to you. If you're in the UK, Hannah is in France. Hannah, if you're the winner, girl, I will ship it to you. So this is a 1 year anniversary celebration. Here's the thing, guys. It's my way of saying thank you to all of you because I didn't think I would last on live for 5 minutes. Okay. July 5th, 1 year ago was that anniversary. Yes, Cassie in Australia. Girl, if you're the winner, I'm shipping it to you. All right. So make sure you do all the things on the video. You do not have to be a subscriber. You just have to be a follower. In the first year, we have just over 16,000 followers here on TikTok. And this is my way of saying thank you. Nikki, thank you so much for the red hot chili peppers. So anyhow, do all the things on the video, guys, if you want. And it shows the hooks in that video. You have to watch it pretty far through if you want to see what it is, though. Okay. Thank you so much for the chili peppers, friends. This beanie that I'm making, I kind of mashed up some patterns together. So there isn't really like a written pattern for this that I know of. There may be one out there. But basically, one of the videos that I watched, I will tell you, is this gal right here. I didn't see who was asking about the pattern. The turtle trunk, easy breezy chunky beanie, beginner crochet beanie tutorial. Go on YouTube. There is a video. Now, see this fabulous chart? I'm following her chart. I do a screenshot of this, and this is how I'm making the beanie. So I'm doing an adult medium, 39 chains, and I'm going to do 36 rows. Okay, so when you look at your rows, here's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have done 6 rows. We're getting ready to start the 7th row, and I need 36 of them. So we're just going to keep stacking these rows up till we get 36. But obviously, guys, I'm not going to finish this on the live today. So check out this video, the turtle trunk, on YouTube. If you want to do a screenshot, easy breezy chunky beanie. But there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. If you put in crochet chunky beanie, you'll find a lot that are very similar to what I'm doing. It's not really unique or special in my opinion. I'm just kind of doing a thing here. Okay. Andrea said, you're amazing sharing your learning process. I try very hard to do that. I am a hobby crocheter, Andrea, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And I do try to come on here and I try to keep it very real, uh, and just share, my process and how I think about things. We talk about stitches. If anybody wants to learn a specific stitch, I try to communicate that as well. So we do lots of like training in the mornings on the live. Yes, Bag a Day has tons of tutorials on YouTube for hats as well. Very last stitch here. Pop out. Yeah, Nikki. Nikki is amazing, right? Nikki's with the fast fingers. Ocean Moon, thank you so much for the heart me and becoming the 118th member of the fan club. Here we are with the very last stitch. Okay. Now, all the way down, I have been working in the back loop only. So this one that is facing me is the front loop. Now we're going to, when I do my brim here, I go through both loops. Okay. You don't have to, but I like how that looks on the brim a little better. So it's going to be kind of this right here. Again, you don't have to do that. Some people come back and do like another stitch there, entirely up to you. But what I do is I go through both loops on the very last stitch. Then I chain one and I turn my work. Okay. Now I ignore the loops on my hook. Skip this chain. This one right here is the chain we just made. You're going to ignore that. And you're going to go into this first stitch right here, again, working in the back loop only, half double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to put my stitch marker back in. That tells me when I get to the very last stitch. One of the things I have figured out in trying to make these hats is I cannot be trusted to count and get my stitches in the correct spot. Stitch markers are your friend, okay? Now, once again, I'm working in the back loop. So when you look at your crochet stitches, don't look here on the side. Make sure you turn your work all the way up. And you look here at the very top. The top of a crochet stitch always looks like a sideways V, okay? And most of the time we work under both of these loops. When we're doing this, we're only working under the back loop. So this loop that is facing us, again, I'm sitting here in my chair. This is facing me. This is the front loop. This one that is facing away from me is called the back loop. So when I work these half double crochets, I'm working in the back loop only. So here's the back loop, and I do a half double, and I work one of those into each stitch as I work along. What this does is it leaves behind the front loop. So you can see the front loop here. And that is what is giving it this cabling effect. So basically, this is the top of our beanie right here. This is where our single crochets were. See how it's more narrow? This will be folded up to a brim, okay? And we're going to keep stacking these rows all the way along. So that is how I'm working this, okay? So again, half double all the way up until I get to that next stitch marker, which indicates 5 single crochets. Thank you all so much for all of the screen taps this morning. We have hit 75,000 likes. Thank you so much, everybody, for tapping your screens. Appreciate each of you hanging out with us here this morning. We have a fabulous group. If you are, did I do the new gift goal or did a squirrel run by? Hang on, let me look. Oh, I need to do it. Squirrel. A squirrel ran by, y'all. Cracking myself up over here. Sorry. Let's see. We've had 29 new followers this morning. Thank you to all of the new followers. I'm glad that you have found me here this morning. If you are new to the channel, my name is April, and I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. And I work on a different project every day when we come live. I have a lot of works in progress. I do a lot of donations for charities. Yes, I literally had a squirrel moment. Stick with me, they happen frequently. I'm sorry. I get to talking about stitches. I get to talking about stories. We have lots of squirrels here. If you are new, my handle, Wheeler 8 Acres. My name is not Wheeler. My name is April. Wheeler is our nickname. My husband loves off-roading and 4x4s and quads and all the things that off-roaders do. And his nickname is Wheeler. Okay. And when we moved here to Alabama 4 years ago, we bought 8 acres. And so, when I do my canning and I do some winemaking, all of our labels have our little place here. We call it Wheeler 8 Acres because we're the Wheelers. So, by default, I am Mrs. Wheeler. And anyhow, I have canning videos and stuff on my TikTok, but I've kind of become more focused on the crocheting. Nikki, thank you so much for the finger hearts. Um, so that's where Wheeler 8 Acres comes from. I can't square off my veterans blanket you started yesterday. What am I missing? Net, are you on the Discord? If not, email me a picture. I need to see. I gotta see I gotta see it, and maybe I can help you. My email is linked on my TikTok, but it's wheeler8acres at gmail.com. Nikki got a subscription. Did I miss it? Was there a subscription gift? Thank you so much. Jen, did you send her a subscription? You are too sweet. Yeah, Net, send me a picture and I'll check it out. Okay, so here we are to the stitch marker. Hey, Leah, good morning. Um, I pop out my first stitch marker. This stitch marker I have strategically placed in here. As we get towards the brim of our hat, excuse me, not the brim, the crown, the top of our hat, we are doing single crochets and I'm doing 5 of those. So I still am going in the back loop only. Instead of doing the half doubles, I'm doing single crochets. And I'll show you why here in just a second. So we're going to do 5 of these single crochets. Oh, it's Prime Day. I saw they had yarn and tools under their deals. Nice. Prime Day. Did anybody get one of those over the door racks? I know Miss Karen did. Karen, are you liking your new rack? I saw Miss Karen is here. Could somebody pin Karen? Uh my friend Karen, y'all, she is fabulous. You guys see me using like my hook minders and my little knot slayers. I have to tell you, Karen, when my mom was here, she was working on her little amigurumi, and she used the ami stick that you guys made me. Isn't that cool? Um, Anyhow, there is Miss Karen. Friends, she makes fabulous ones of these. She also makes the knot slayer. It's a little shorter. It's hard for me to reach right now. I need to rearrange here. But Mama Wheeler, she put this in her amigurumi, and it held the head onto the body. It was so cool, so cool. Let me see if I can reach my knot slayer. Here's my knot slayer. One of them. Ow! Oh, that gave my arm a cramp. Here's my knot slayer. See how it's a little shorter? So when you get a knot in your yarn, you can use this to pick out your knot, and it just works fabulously. But anyhow, Miss Karen is pinned here. She makes these, and you can order them off of her Etsy. Her Etsy is linked. Her Etsy shop is linked in my link tree, guys. So check out Miss Karen if you are interested in those items. That's where I get them from. Let's see. Nikki said she needs a knot slayer. Well, there you go, Nikki. Yeah, that candy bead is so cute. I love butterflies. Love butterflies. Vicky says I use my knot slayer and love it. Here's our last stitch. So again, single crochet. Now I'm going to chain one. Nikki, thank you so much for the tiny dinies. So see how this is more narrow here at the top compared to this right here? So when you look at your beanie, what happens if you don't go a little smaller here on the top, this gets really bulky through here. When you reduce down, it helps it so that it lays a little flatter here along the top of your hat. Okay. And yet the brim still is nice and full. So that is why we do these single crochets. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start down the next side. So I've chained one and turned my work. Ignore the loops on your hook. This right here, this stitch, this is the chain that I just made. Now I'm again going to turn my work and working into the back loop right here, single crochet. Now right away, I'm going to put back in my stitch marker because I have all these squirrel moments, friends, and I can't keep track of anything. Stitch markers are your friend. Now we're going to do single crochets, a total of 5 of them. Here's 2, 3, 4. And you can see number 5 here. I've got my stitch marker to remind me. That one also is a single crochet. So single crochets right here. Pop out this stitch marker. Move him to the new set of stitches. Now I'm going to resume with my half doubles, okay? So on your half doubles, again, do not get mixed up by looking at the side of your work here. Make sure you turn it all the way up. Turn it up, yo. When you look at the top of your stitches, it looks like a sideways V. The stitch that is facing me, this one right here, is called the front loop. This one that is away from me is called the back loop. I'm going to work a half double in the back loop all the way down. Okay, so again, turn, ignore this side, go up to the very top, half double in the back loop. When you work in the back loop like this, what it does is it leaves behind the front loop because we're skipping over that part. And you can see this little line of texture that cabling effect is created from doing the work into the back loop. So it's very cool. Gives it a cool effect. It's just kind of a little illusion, you know? Let's see here. Nikki, thanks again for the tiny dinies. I appreciate it. And thank you all for the screen taps. We're at 87,000, almost 90. We're getting there. Is it going to be 100 kind of day? It's 100 in Arizona. Please repin. Did everybody get Karen? Did everybody get Karen? We could pin her again if you need to. If you need your, the other thing that Karen makes, now I made my own, but if you want hook minders, so you guys see me use these a lot where I make my little lobster clasp and then I put a little charm with the hook that I'm using. So in this case, I used an I9 hook. I clipped this onto my project. Um, Karen also makes those. Okay. What happened, Leah? I missed it. What are we? Oh, Leah had a grandbaby, huh? Are we congratulating Leah for her new grandbaby? Where'd my hat go? Oh, Lordy. Almost lost my crochet hook, too. Come on back here. Come on back. I'm making the same baby blanket. How did you make the border? Oh, great question, Allie. Hang on, I'll show you. I did a little ruffle on it. I did a little ruffle action. So when I got to my finished row here, I did my back post I did a back post half double along here to kind of give it that framework. Then what I did is with the white, I did some scallops or shells. I guess I did shells, but I did one, two, three, four, five double crochets into one stitch. Then I skipped 2 stitches. In the corners, instead of doing 5, I did 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That helps you go around the corner a little better. So again, skip 2, and then I do a single crochet right here. And then I skip 2 and do the double crochet. And then I chain 1. Then I came back around and I did a chain of 3. And I did a slip stitch in between each of those. We'll probably be doing this ruffle on Tuesday because I think I'll be done with this other baby blanket that I'm working on. But that's kind of how I did it. Um, and I don't know if I have a video of this. I need to make a video of this ruffle. There's another ruffle on my TikTok that's the simple ruffle. It's kind of the same concept of that one. So I think on Tuesday I'll be done with this blanket over the weekend, and I'll say we'll do a ruffle on Tuesday. Does that sound good to everybody? We'll ruffle it up. Nikki, thank you so much. Nikki is crushing it. Thank you, thank you. Y'all, Nikki, wow. Wowzers. Let's see. What else do we have here? How about some corn? We haven't done corn for a while. I just had such good corn on the 4th of July. Oh my gosh. Sweet corn. Boy, was it good. We have some extra in the fridge too. I should have that tonight. I think we have like 3 ears left from when Mama Wheeler was here. I need to get that out and that sounds good. Sorry, total squirrel, guys. Um, It would be good with some chicken too, maybe some fried chicken. I don't know. Making myself hungry here. Can you tell I haven't had anything to eat today? I've had a little coffee, but yeah, the ruffle sounds good. Yeah, let's ruffle it up. So we'll plan on that for Tuesday, ruffling for the baby blankets. I like to put a little ruffle on them. I just think it's a nice little addition to the blanket to kind of set off the edge. 4 daughters. Thank you so much for the corn. What's for dinner is always a question, Bloom. I agree. What is for dinner? Karina, they are still on the road. Mama and Papa Wheeler, they stayed last night outside of Albuquerque. I'm not sure where they stayed, but she messaged me that they were somewhere there and they had stopped for Mexican food. You guys have heard me talk about Mexican food. One of the things I miss from Arizona so much is Mexican food, but I found this little Mexican food joint kind of here in our town. It's like a food truck. And I'll tell you, their Mexican food is pretty darn close to Arizona's Mexican food. So finally, I feel like um, I'm getting real Mexican food because I'll tell you what, no offense to the Alabama folks, but y'all can't make Mexican food at all. I'm sorry, you just can't. You don't even know, and you don't even know that you can't. But living in Arizona my whole life, I'll tell you, it's really hard to live here in Alabama. Can you finish a hat on the live too? Yes, Cheryl Lynn. What I'll do for the hat, I'll wait until we have till we have one all the way. Yes, Mrs. Melody, I would agree. New Mexican food is the best too. Um, I have a little story about that. I'll tell you in just a second. Remind me about Hatch chilies. We got to talk about chilies, okay? So here we are to the corner. But yes, I will plan to finish a beanie on the live so you guys can see how I join it. We'll do that next week also. We'll plan on that for Wednesday, okay? So here in the very last stitch, instead of going under just the back loop, I go under both with my half double. 100,000. There it is. $4. Thank you, everybody, for tapping those screens. Okay, now we're going to chain one, turn our work. This just makes me want parking lot tamales. Yes, Sparky. We used to get those in Arizona too. Okay, and there was gals at my work that would make tamales, and sometimes the guys at work would bring in tamales that their wives made. You could like place an order, all those things. I totally missed that. Oh my gosh, I have Charlie horse in my foot. Ow, that hurts so bad. I need to drink. I need to drink some water and hydrate, y'all. Oh, that hurts. Street tacos. That's what I finally found here in Arizona. I might order some of those for lunch myself because now I've gotten myself on a taco kick. Okay, so chain one, turn your work. This is the chain that I just made. Ignore your stitch that's here on your hook. This one right here is the very first stitch. I yarn over and working into the back loop only. Again, we're doing that half double stitch. So when you look at your stitches, the one that faces you right here, this is called the front loop. The one that is away from you is the back loop. I am working half doubles into the back loop only. Okay, so yarn over, again, go into the back loop, ignore that front loop, and do your half double. Now, very important, put back in your stitch marker. I don't know where mine went because I had a foot cramp. Put that into your first stitch. That way you don't mess that up. I make tamales myself, but I'll tell you what, they are so much work. They're so much work, but you can't get good tamales around here. So in college, I had a Hispanic roommate. She was from Tucson. She lived in Tucson, but she wasn't originally from Tucson. She was originally from Mexico. How come you go in the back loop only after ending with both loops? Um, I just like how it gives it more of a stretch. So I don't know. Um, I That's just how kind of how I do it. This is how it folds up and looks. So it makes it look nice and even. So yeah, when I turn, I go in both loops. Before I turn, I go in both loops. And then when I come back around, I only go in the one loop. Maybe just because I want that line of texture all the way down is kind of how I think about it. Okay, so one of the things, oh, you're lucky you have an amazing Super Mercado. I don't have any of those here. Yeah, they're far and few between. We don't have anything like that. Okay, so Mexican food, y'all. One of the things that I make for breakfast is I take whole canned green chilies. Now, sometimes in Arizona, I used to roast my own hatch chilies. I would get them there at Food City. A lot of you Arizonans know Food City. And I'd get they aren't poblanos. They're hatch chilies. They're called green chilies. They're grown in New Mexico. Okay. But we had them there in Arizona, and I'd get those and I would roast them. And then I would wrap them in wet paper towels, okay? Put them in a plastic bag, and that would allow the skins to release off of them. And then I would skin them out and devein them and everything. And I would make is a breakfast casserole. I would take egg with a little self-rising flour, uh, garlic, salt, cheese, grated cheese, and eggs, and I would kind of whip that up into like a little mix, okay? And then I would spray my pan. I'd get like a casserole dish. I would spray it with Pam and I'd put some of that egg mixture in. Then I would take the hatch chilies and you flatten them out, okay? You open them up, flatten them, and you lay those in a layer. So you think of this as like a lasagna, okay? Same concept. You lay those chilies in the pan, and once you've got a full layer of the chilies, then you come back with that egg mixture and you put more of that on there, and then you put another layer of green chilies, and then you top it with more of the egg mixture, and you bake it at 350 until it's not gooey anymore. Okay, how it usually takes me like 50 minutes, 55 minutes. I use a little toothpick to make sure it comes out clean. But I love making this green chili casserole. In Alabama, we don't have hatch chilies. We don't have peppers like that, and I don't like poblanos. They're not the same. Poblanos are not the same. My mom will do it with poblanos. She'll make her chili rellenos with poblanos, but for me, it's not the same. Yes, chili relleno casserole, Victoria. Love it. So last year, what I did is I went on Wally World's website because you, again, can't walk into a store here in Alabama and uh, they're called Hatch, Hatch. It's like help me, New Mexico folks. Tell the friends about Hatch chilies. If you're from New Mexico, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's where they come from. That's the region. Um, but in Arizona, when I didn't have fresh, I would use canned. I would get a 27 ounce can of chilies. They were whole green chilies, okay? Not diced up. I've made it with diced up. It's not the same. It's not the same. You need the whole. But I'd get a 27 ounce can of Hatch green chilies whole. And I would get those in Arizona. Well, here you don't just walk into the store and get that because people here have no clue what you're talking about. Okay. So a year ago, I got smart and I said, aha, I'm going to go on Wally World because, you know, Wally World, you can ship for 35 bucks. I ordered 6 cans of Hatch green chilies, friends. They shipped to me from California. They shipped to me right from California, and I was set. I had 6 cans. I only make it like every couple of months, right? So I was good. Um, this year I ran out of Hatch chilies. Again, Walmart doesn't have anything. I go to order them online. No Hatch chilies. They're not shipping them anymore, probably because, yeah, they're too heavy to ship. So then I said, crafted by chaos. Absolutely. Amazon might have them. Sure, I'll go on Amazon. Girl, $11 a can. Oh, no, 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 no. As much as I like whole green chilies, we're not going to be buying $11 for a little 27-ounce can of green chilies. That is not in the cards. Okay. So, Mama Wheeler, you know, is headed back to Arizona. And I went on a website. They're passing it through Albuquerque. So I went on Wally World and I changed the zip code to Will Call in Albuquerque just because I wanted to see, can you get a can of roasted in Albuquerque? Like, do they have them? Oh, yeah, they have them. $5 a can, 540 something. 540. Good morning, Brooke. Hey, Vic. Good morning. So anyhow, then mom said, "Well, check our grocery store in Prescott." You know, I used to get them in Arizona, and I'm sure it's because of the Mexico influence there in Arizona. So anyhow, I go on my mom's Walmart there in Prescott. Sure enough, they can go into Walmart and get the 27-ounce can of Hatch green chilies, 544 a can. So I'm not going to spend $10 on Amazon for green chilies. That's not happening. But I'll tell you what, I put in my order for when Mama Wheeler comes back in a couple months. She definitely is going to be bringing me back some green chilies. And Gisela said we have many available in Australia. Have grown them myself, so I have grown them myself as well. But they are more work to fire roast them yourself. And I like having the can on the shelf. Just if I have company over, it makes a really nice breakfast casserole, and I really like it. So, friends, here we are to the stitch markers. Now, this is the top of our beanie. Okay, and right here, I'm going to pop out the stitch marker. And when we get to these stitch markers, these last 5 stitches here, instead of doing the half double, we are going to do a single crochet. And I'm going to do single crochets in those 5 stitches as we work our way up here to the top. Now remember, pop back in your stitch marker so you don't lose track. So what I used to do at Food City, Vicky, there in Arizona, during the summertime, and I guess it was spring too, sometimes late spring they would have them. But you used to be able to go, they would have the fire roaster. They'd take like a big metal drum that had like a mesh grate on it, and they would fill it full of the green chilies, and it was like on a spit barbecue, and it had flame, and it would roast the green chilies. And you could buy them by the bag. I used to do that. You would buy them fresh roasted. That was the best way to do that, is to buy them right out of the roaster. Um, these are the things that I miss about Arizona. That I have not. It's not the same here in Alabama. Like, there's never going to be anybody. I shouldn't say never, but I highly doubt there's ever going to be anybody roasting a 5-gallon drum of green chilies in the grocery store parking lot. Like, it's not gonna happen, right? But that is, what I missed, and you could go into Food City and you could buy them in the bag. I'm sure you still can. It's just a thing. It's a regional thing. So yeah, I don't know. These are things that I reminisce about. But Mama Wheeler will hook it up. She will definitely bring me back some cans of green chilies. I'm sure she will. And that will suffice. And in the meantime, if I have to use diced, it's not the end of the world. Okay, chain one. Again, ignore the loops on your hook. Ignore this chain. This is the chain we just made. Into the back loop of the first stitch here, we're going to again work single crochet. Pop back in my stitch marker because I have all these squirrels in my life that get me distracted. Now we're going to work single crochets back through the first 5 stitches. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uh, I guess I don't even know why I was thinking about chili peppers, but maybe it's because I put a red hot chili pepper as the gift goal. That could be. Again, squirrels, right? I did 39 rows, or 39, I did 39. I did 39 chains. Here we go, friends. For this beanie, I did 39 chains. And then I turned and I worked into the first one. So I've actually got 38 stitches here. Okay. This is the very top of my hat. I'm working 5 single crochets in the last 5 stitches. Okay. And the rest I'm working half doubles. So now I'm going to switch and I'm going back to working half doubles, and I'm working in the back loop only. And I'm using this handy dandy chart that I got off of YouTube. I know, Victoria said I made you all hungry. I'm sorry. uh, the turtle trunk right here. Do a little screenshot. YouTube video, easy breezy, chunky beanie. Mrs. Melody said, my favorite is make breakfast burritos with deer sausage and green chili. That sounds good. Uh, there is no such thing out here either, friends, as there are no Bertos brothers. Okay, I called them the Bertos because in Arizona we had Filibertos, Arabertos, Felix Abertos, all the Bertos. We had all the Bertos. You guys know who I'm talking about? And when you're hungover, there's nothing like a bear toast burrito. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. Sometimes as a late night as well. I'm not a big drinker anymore, but I'll tell you what, in my younger days, the bear toast burritos were where it was at. So, yeah, there's no Bear Toast Brothers here. I really wish there was. In leaving Arizona, I never thought one of the things I would miss would be a Filiberto's, okay? I'm telling you, Mr. Wheeler and I both miss Filiberto's. Who would have thunk it? All you folks out there on the West Coast with all your Bertos brothers, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'll tell you what, it's hard to find a good breakfast burrito out here. Alibertos. There you go, Lulu. See? Alibertos. I think there's an Aliabertos too. I think we had one of those in Arizona. So now what I do is I make my own breakfast burritos, but I'm telling you guys, they're not the same. Mr. Wheeler really likes them. He thinks I do a great job. But it is not the same. It is not the same as rolling up to the Bertos Brothers and getting yourself a burrito. I'm telling you, it's not, it's just not. It's just not. I have made myself incredibly hungry. What time is it? Is it time for me to get off of the live and go find something to eat? Because I'm hungry. I'll tell you what, I could eat some Mexican food right now. I might do that. You know, my other favorite thing I like to make for Mexican breakfast? Uh, Tony loves my breakfast burritos and McDonald's don't hit right. He said, "Yeah, that's it." I'm sorry, I'm cracking you guys up. Uh, 20 minutes. Okay, I have time for another story as we work on this hat. Sorry, it's been a pretty lax day. We'll be more serious next week, I promise. Okay. But we have to have some of these days, friends, where April's a little more. This has been a hard week. Okay. I needed this. Um, the reason we ended up in Alabama is we were tired of all of the politicking in Arizona, to be honest with you. And we wanted to move out to the country. I was tired of living in the desert and I wanted to move to the country. Okay. That's why we ended up here. And I know it's like far away, and people say, "How the heck did you end up in Alabama in a little town of 5,000 people? Like, why? What were you thinking?" But we have family here. My niece moved here from Arizona. She met a boy online and they started talking. They talked for a couple years, and finally the families got together. And anyhow, she ended up moving to Alabama. They're married, they have a child, and they live here in the same town that we live in. And I kept seeing her Facebook post. I kept seeing the Facebook post of all the pretty green and the trees. They were doing all these family things. And back then, COVID was happening. And I think Gen X sent you a subscription. Jen, thank you so much. Round of applause to our moderators. Jen, thank you, sister. Appreciate you being here with us. Nikki, I think Jen is the one that gave you the subscription, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure she did. She knows that you support the channel a lot, and so she was saying thank you. So anyhow, that's how we ended up in Alabama. Mr. Wheeler and I, we got in the car over COVID. We took a week vacation, both of us. We were both in. Our jobs did not stop. So we got in the car and we drove to Alabama during COVID to take a little vacation. I had already done a ton of research in the area, and I knew that I kind of wanted to relocate here, but we hadn't discussed it with any family because it's a big change. But that is how we ended up in Alabama, and we absolutely love it here. So, reminiscing about the things from Arizona, the things that I love and miss, is one thing. Would I go back to Arizona right now today? I would not. I would not. I love it here. I love our life. I love being in the country. This morning, over on YouTube, those that watch the deer cameras, there was 4 deer that came in this morning. At least three I saw. Last night we had three huge bucks come in. Their antlers full racks, beautiful. Uh, just all those things. Yesterday, my bluebirds fledged. Some of you guys have been watching my bluebird cameras with me. All four of the babies fledged yesterday. Now I've got it on the tree swallow box, and those tree swallows are getting ready to fledge as well. So there are so many things that I absolutely love about Arizona or about Alabama. But there are things that I do miss from Arizona. And so it is fun to reminisce about those things. But okay, sorry, total squirrel again, because I'm hungry. I got to tell you about my other favorite Mexican food thing that I make. That I'll tell you what, I'm going to get off the live on time, and this is happening. So what I do, I don't know what this is called, so some of y'all can tell me. I take a little enchilada sauce. This squirrel, right? This squirrel. We're going to talk about breakfast some more because I'm making this for breakfast today. I take a little enchilada sauce. I get myself a plate. Okay. I put a little red or green sauce, whichever one I've got. I put some down on the plate, enchilada sauce. And I take either a corn tortilla or a flour tortilla. I put it on the sauce. Then I put some more of the enchilada sauce on. I put another tortilla on. Sometimes I put some cheese in between there. Put another tortilla on. Put some more enchilada sauce, more cheese. Then I go over to my frying pan and I fry up an egg. And I leave the yolk runny. Leave the yolk runny, and I put that egg right on top of those tortillas. Now, in the meantime, of course, I put the tortillas in the microwave and I melt all that cheesy tortilla enchilada sauce goodness. I get that all melted up. And then I put that fried egg right on top. Friends, that is what is happening for breakfast. I've convinced myself. I love doing that. I think I learned that from my mom. I don't know. It's probably an Arizona thing. I'm sure a Mexico influence. Like I said, I have no clue what it's called, but I love that. My husband's not as much of a fan of that. Mama Wheeler loves it. And I don't even know how to say it. Somebody posted it right there. Debbie said, uh, chilla, chilaquis. I'm sure I said that wrong. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I got myself cracking up over here. I can't speak. I can't speak in the Spanish at all. I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, but there's some stuff that I can't do. So anyhow, it's the tortilla enchilada egg cheesy goodness that I'm having that for breakfast. Absolutely. Man, I'm hungry. Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles? Vicky? Chilaquiles? Mm. Mm. Man, I'm hungry. I might have to end the live at the end of this row so I can go cook, y'all. What a fabulous week this has been, friends. I'll tell you, Tuesday I was really dragging. You know what? It was a long vacation week. I did too much. I was too tired. Um, Fry tortilla with sauce. Yes, 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 yes. I promise I won't be able to say that again. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Chilequilles. I don't know, Paloma. Paloma, I'm a white girl. What can I say? I just, I love all of that Mexican food. We were there close to Mexico. We would go down to Rocky Point, and so my mom has pictures of me as a chubby little baby on the beach in Rocky Point. And Rocky Point isn't real Mexico, you know. I mean, it technically is Mexico, but oh, now I wish I had some cactus to have with eggs. So I have to. Okay, okay, pause. I have to tell you about cactus. In all my time in living in Arizona, I never once had a cactus. Never once had a cactus. I used to see them at Foodland. Food City, Food City. Have a great day, Mrs. Melody. Thanks for hanging out this week with me. I appreciate you being here. Never once had a cactus, but I came here and I ordered what did I order? It was like a fajita plate or something down here at one of the Mexican food joints. Uh, maybe it wasn't fajitas. I think it was fajitas though. And it came and it had a cactus petal on top. Okay, number one, I never would have put a cactus petal with enchiladas. Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. How'd I do? Chilaquiles. Um, maybe Lulu, someday I'll get it. Y'all don't hold your breath because probably next time I go to say it, I won't have a clue. But I'm trying hard. Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. Okay, I can do it. I think I can do it. Um, anyhow, the first time ever I got a cactus petal here in Alabama on my fajita thing. There's this one restaurant that we go to, and oh my gosh, it is so good. No nopales, is that how you say it? Nopales, the cactus petals. Um, they grill it up. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Now when I get it, whatever that dish is, I can't remember what it's called. It's only at this one restaurant that we go to. They make the best ones there. One, two, three, four. And I order an extra one. I pay extra so that I could get an extra cactus on it. Because honestly, friends, why the heck did I have to come all the way to Alabama to get a cactus petal? Why is that? You would think all those years in Arizona, I would have had one. I mean, we went to Macayo's, we went to all the Mexican food restaurants. I mean, you name them off. Some of the original ones, like in downtown Phoenix, too. I can't think of the names, but they're like authentic, like totally authentic. And never once did I have cactus there in Arizona. Boy, I miss some of those places too. We used to go there for our work lunches. Carolinas. Oh, Carolinas has got some good cheesy tortillas too. We had a Carolinas there by our house, but the original one is down there. I think it's in South Phoenix. There's another place too we used to go to. I would give anything to go to that restaurant right now. Um, I don't know if I think they're prickly pears, but somebody else might know. They're the flat green petals. I think they're prickly pears. Not the fruit. You definitely have to oh, I need this stuff to make flautas. That sounds good too. So much Mexican food talk, all because Mama Wheeler in New Mexico got Mexican food last night. I was so jealous, you guys. So jealous. I think it's a prickly pear. I don't know. I know you can get them there at Food City in Phoenix. You guys still have a lot of food cities there in Phoenix? They had closed the one by my house. I was at 55th. The one by my house was at 55th and Thunderbird. And they had, I think it was Thunderbird, 55th Avenue in Thunderbird. Sorry, Sparky. Sparky says I can't keep hearing this. Excuse me. Let me get a drink here, guys. Yes, two different things, same plant. Um, the food cities are more west side. I was a west side girl. I lived in northeast Phoenix for most of my adult life, but then I lived in Peoria. I was at 67th Avenue and Olive. For those that know Arizona, that's where I was living before we moved to Arizona. I think I was there like 4 or 5 years. I really liked being on the west side. But we had one down there by my work too. I worked for years and years down there at 7th Street in McDowell. And there was a food city I used to go to on my lunch because we didn't have a food city by the house when I lived in Northeast Phoenix. And I would drive on my lunch break over to Food City. I want to say it was at 32nd Street in Thomas. Is there still a Food City there? I think that's where I used to go to. I would drive over there on my lunch break just so that I could get the Food City produce and stuff. I would kind of take like a late lunch. I mostly didn't do it during the summer, but sometimes I would just put it in the work fridge. Like I didn't care. I would buy my produce and stuff and put it in the work fridge and then take it home. So I've always was shopping at Food City, and I loved the fruits and vegetables also that I would get there. Good melons, really good stuff. So I definitely miss. We have a Food City here in Alabama, but it's not the same thing. It is not the same thing at all. It's completely different. Yes, and the Mexican cheeses too. Now, I can get the queso fresco here, and I do get that, but, it's just the round that's in the plastic. So that that I can get here. That's a thing. But if you wanted to go to, like, the case, you know how there's the case at Food City and you can get the cheeses and stuff? You can't there's none of that here. No. There's one Mexican grocery store, Karina, I have to say. There's one Mexican grocery store here in Rainsville, and I probably need to go there and check it out. It's been one of the things I've wanted to do. I just have not made it over there, but maybe I need to go check it out because they might have some good things. Sorry, y'all. I apologize for I keep clearing my throat. I'm getting hoarse. One last thing before I go make breakfast. Um, when I lived west side, there was a little, uh, Mexican like a market, and, one of the things we used to get there, they had a whole, like, bar of, stuff where you could get the marinated chicken, the yellowish orange chicken? You guys know what I'm talking about? That you can throw it on the grill, and then also, hey, Brits, good morning. Um the chicken, always had, like, an orangish yellow hue to it, and also, the stuff, what is it? The flank steak, I think it was flank steak, that we would get and put on the grill. Do you know what I'm talking? Vicky knows. Vicky, what is that? The meat that I used to get there, it was always in all the juice, like, marinated. Um, I miss things like that from Arizona because I would go there at least every couple weeks. Yeah, flank steak. Yes, for carne asada. Exactly, Nikki. The stuff for carne asada, I would always go to the Mexican market and get it right there. And the other thing that I would get for the carne asada when I went there, they always had the ice cream the little freezer thing that had the little ice creams, where is it, Helados? Helados? Um, there was, like, strawberry that had, like, the chunks of strawberry in it. They were like this. And the coconut one, oh my god, the coconut was my favorite. I love coconut. Um, you could get them in the case, the freezer case. And I used to get them down in Rocky Point too, those ice creams. They were like frozen fruit, like, pops. Um, I miss those, and there was the carts that would come around. The guys would have them too. They would bring them around down by our work. Um, it's funny the things you miss when you go to a complete different, region, and those things are no longer available. Um, it's crazy. Here, you go to the flea market, you get a corn dog. There's no, like, it's just not like that, it's totally different. The orange tends to be from coriander or an annatto chili. Oh, interesting. I never knew what it was, but we loved that chicken. We loved that chicken, we would get it all the time. Um, or the history, it is disappearing from where you used to live and shop. Uh, yeah, things change all the time, right? Like, that happens. Um in Peoria there, we had the Food City and then it closed, and now there's some, like, fitness center or some crap like that. Sorry to all you fitness folks. I would have rather had the Food City than the fitness place. Give me the Mexican food and my crocheting. I'm not one for going and spend a lot of time at the gym. Let's just say that. So things change, regions change. Um, but moving across the country really changed a lot. I will post my recipes for the season I used to make adobo and saison. That would be great, Vicky, because I would love to make my own because I you just can't get it here. But there's no reason I can't just go to the store and, I have chicken breast right now. I could totally make my own like marinade and we could have the same thing, but I need it to be authentic. TikTok, I could probably look on TikTok also. They probably have something, but Vicky, share yours. I think a lot of us would love to have that. Um, I think it would be a really cool thing. So I know I would make it. I know Mr. Wheeler if I made it. I have like there's like a yellow container of like Goya, stuff like that I have. We can get those seasonings and stuff here. I'm gonna go right here to this corner, y'all. The prepackaged has too many dyes and salt. Yeah, that's exactly it. Kay, thanks for hanging out this week. Have a great weekend. Let's see. Kelly says she would make it too. Friends, thank you all so much for everybody who's made this such a fabulous week. Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to all of the subscribers, and to all of those who sent gifts and all of the taps and all the things. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out and making it such a great weekend or week for me. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Be sure and be checking the channel tomorrow for that giveaway. I'm excited to do that. And anyhow, we will definitely be doing that tomorrow. So I don't know what time I'll post that video, y'all. It's going to take me some time to get my what together and get that done, but it'll definitely happen. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me put in a stitch marker here so I can remember. But we need to do a cooking with Wheeler episodes. I don't know that I cook enough that you all want to see it, and my kitchen is kind of small. I don't know that I'd be a good TikTok cooker, but I do love watching some TikTok cooking videos, I'll tell you. So, anyhow, friends, thank you all so, so much for another great week. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Have a fabulous weekend. I will see you next week. Bye for now.